to see a program end of 2015, Fannie Mae, due to the first-time home buyers request, they want to invented a program just for the first-time home buyers, and they consider it is community program. So that's called Home Ready. This program goes alive in the mid of, I think it's mid towards the late of 2015, but is really polished well in 2016. So let's see. This is basically is cover what's the Home Ready. What do we really consider? So this is the reasoning for Fannie Mae to create this program based upon their research, the demographic sees change and also competitive pricing, because after the 18th, 19th, and 2010, 11, the meltdown, FHA loan is start to feel, a lot of people say, well, that's kind of getting expensive. Are there any conforming loans can matching or equivalent to that to serve the community, to take some burden? So this is the demographic they learned from there. Look at this. On the left corner, this percentage of EIH by race and ethnicity. This is talking about people using the Home Ready. When the program started, they see what's the percentage, the culture, community people using this program. So apparently Asian is a bottom using this program, African American is in the middle, and Hispanic is the highest percentage people who using this program. So the Home Ready recognized the growth of extended income for household, and also some of the non-borrower household member, because the meltdown, they say, we realize in the community, a lot of people, they are pull the resources together, and also family live together. And that is cast a very key point for people in the future to thinking how they can own the home together. So this is, the program is recognized that character. And then this is basically, checking people's knowledge about knowing the mortgage, knowing the community. So this is some little bit of technical background about Home Ready. Home Ready is a community program. So everybody know Home Ready actually counted for the CRA status for all the financial institutions. So this is how they calculated they qualify for the CRA and also complying with the Consumer Reinvestment Act. So this one is talking about area type. If it's a low income, the property people purchase is in low income property, income census tract. And for the people qualify this program, there's no income limit. But if it is not in the low income census tract, and they are talking about the max income area, median income level is capped as 100%. And that's a dead cut. So most of that for Fannie Mae is considered median income is no greater than 80, which this is everybody knows. So this is the reason to tell us what is this program, the good part, the good character or merit. So low down payment requirement. This program is a 3%. Everybody know FHA has been dominant market for a very, very long time as a low down payment requirement. But this one comes up with a 3, even 0.5% less than FHA loan. And competitive pricing, because this is a community program, community is compensating the fact of community low, moderate income, underserved the area. So they still price this loan as a very competitive pricing. And then flexible source of a fund. Well, this is talking about a minimum contribution from a borrower own funds there's no requirement, because a lot of people nowadays to say, hey, if I'm coming, I have to recognize my own down payment funds percentage or certain portion, even include some city government down payment system and program. They still consider that it's to say you need to come up, the buyers or customer needs to come up with their own fund. What's the requirement for that is normally common sense is a skin of the game. So we want to say people want to stay in the game because you invested this and you want to stick to it. So in that case, we can help. But for this program, the program is no requirement for that. The other one, everybody is on the screen can look at this. The major thing I want to point it out is this rental and border income. This is a very key point because all the other program for border income, especially border income, everybody knows border income, right? So the people live with the family, in the family. There's no clear cut, this person is separate for certain like ADU units or separate units to rental. No, this is the person live with a family, but they pay their share of the rent. So that's a border income. But this program can tolerate border income. And what the character here wants to see is from time to time, they do change. Fannie Mae does change that to see the border income, what's the percentage they are going to calculate, and also some lender will put an overlay on the border income, how to recognize the border income. But the bottom line is, everybody know, if we are recognize the income has to have a trace and track. And the expanded DTI, this part is, everybody know, Fannie Mae, to approval the program, the first thing is you have to pass their DU, the automatic system. So DU will pick up a lot of things for the first line defense for the human underwriter. But for this program, there's no difference. They didn't set a special DU checkup point. So if the borrower is going to meet the census tract, the income, the first home buyers, education, all those points, the DU will automatically pass. So there's no extra, a lot of people say, well, I may have to spend extra effort to get this approved. So DU actually is recognized. That's kind of a smooth. The other one is cancelable private mortgage. Of course, this is a Fannie Mae program. It is conforming program. It's not a government, it's a private source money program. So if less than 20%, of course, there is PMI put on to work with the risk. But also if the CLTV dropped down to 78%, the PMI is going to be eliminated. This is just how to calculate, how to recognize the census tract about the properties. So I think this, no need to further, explain more. Manufactured house is available for this program. Of course, there are certain conditions you have to put it either as the double-sided and also on the permanent land, those type of criteria. And then this is the basics for 1 unit purchase. What is the criteria for the Fannie Mae to look at this? Any questions on this type of a technical thing?
No, but Emma, I think you have about 1 minute.
Okay, so there's a lot of, this program also work with, just like other programs, work with all the government down payment system program. I will go through some of the slides as because a lot of those slides basically is just talking about the characters of the program. A lot of, especially I believe our people in this room is quite familiar with tons of those jargons or terminologies. So this is how they calculate without considering the household non-borrower's income. Non-borrower's income is considered compensation fact to see if the borrower's not eligible, but we put non-borrower's person, the income into this consideration, and all of a sudden this household become eligible. And so rental income from accessory units and boarder income, this is also considered qualified income. And this is quite familiar, all the people quite familiar with, FHA, Home Ready, Fannie Mae standard, the comparisons that you can see, FHA is quite expensive when we look at the total monthly payment, and Home Ready and also Fannie Mae regular. So this is the resources if anybody wants to do a little bit of extra research to find out this program. This is the resources to look for the information. Also talk to any of the lender. Most of the lenders has this program. More or less is whether the lender has overlay or not. As our bank, we don't have the bank overlay. So we pretty much take what Fannie Mae pass and Fannie Mae take, or Fannie Mae set, so the standard. So we take from there. So with that that's my piece of presentation. Thank you.